I wanted to talk to you today about the corner thing because I know
Okay.
I've been raving about
It's
it
definitely
all
the
off
most important
season.
issue on the team. We talk quarterbacks all the time. Cornerback is the most important issue of the 2021 49ers.
Yeah, and quite honestly, I have an article that I just finished up that's about to come out on all 49ers SI about this problem.
Nice.
And it's kind of a value thing more than anything. I've discovered that while
Yeah.
the rest of the league has caught up to the fact that corner is one of the top four most important positions,
It's
49ers
important.
haven't caught up.
No,
They haven't.
no.
And,
They're
it's
stuck in,
funny.
in like 1999 here.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what they're really stuck in is like 2016, 2017, because tell me if I'm wrong, Grant, but it seems like all the smart moves that the 49ers front office has made has been prior to the arrival of Shanahan and Lynch. And then if you look there on out, there's so many times when I'm not saying they made the worst decision possible, but because of that family atmosphere that the 49ers create, right? They have to hang on to certain guys. They have to overpay for certain guys and they're not
Yeah.
exactly willing to leverage the contracts that they signed a certain way when they intended those contracts to be that way. I mean, we talk about Jimmy all the time, but we should blame the front office for not leveraging that contract in the offseason. The fact that they couldn't get his cap number down to me is a problem it's a problem that's symptomatic of 49ers biggest problem right now, which is that because there's such a family atmosphere,
Right.
family environment, they don't have that
No,
Bill
it's business.
Belichick.
It's business.
Right. People try and compare Kyle to Bill Belichick all the time. I'm sorry, he's not Bill Belichick because he's not willing to just let go of first round, second round picks willy-nilly. I mean, listen, look what Bill Belichick has done to picks who don't work out and people who he signed for big contracts.
Yeah,
49ers aren't willing to do that. And quite honestly, the one that hurts the most, well, the two ones that
you think
hurt
the Patriots would hang on to Jalen Hurd this long?
God,
No.
No. I mean, I don't think they would have even ever signed Jimmy to that number or Eric Armstead to that contract number that he got.
How I know they wouldn't have signed Jimmy to that number? They didn't.
They didn't.
They didn't.
They could have.
They could have. There's all these reports that they wanted, they loved, they were gonna, they didn't. And they were smart not to. They got Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0 right now for cheaper. Yeah.
Exactly. But with the corner thing, the two ones that I think hurt the most, Grant, are Asante Samuel and CJ Henderson recently. Because with the Asante Samuel one, the thing that makes it the worst is that if they had just drafted him instead of drafting Ambry at corner and then had drafted a different guard and maybe a different running back, they'd have three starting corners right now with Lenore, Mosley, and Asante Samuel. And guess what? All three of those guys would be signed through next year too. So you would be fine at corner for the next two seasons. And then let's talk about CJ Henderson too. I understand the 49ers don't have a lot of draft capital, but it seems like they could have got him for a third round pick. And I'm sorry, but were the 49ers going to get that good of a corner at third round pick? I don't think so. And I understand there were personality issues with Henderson and all that, but to me, the fact that there weren't any rumblings of San Francisco was the team that called about him, and then you know what, Carolina got him at the last minute, but they were the team that came in second. Like there's nothing coming out about that, and now the 49ers are going to the scrap heap because they have to, because this is a problem they created themselves. So yeah, no, I've been doing all this research about how the rest of the league values corner, and it's pretty interesting that the 49ers they haven't caught up with the rest of the league right now.
Real quick, here's my philosophy on it. I mean, people argue is coverage more important than pressure? They're both important. You need both.
Yeah.
You need both. The question is, how are you going to go about getting each one? And to me, you need to prioritize coverage in the draft because good coverage players fall off quicker. It takes premium athleticism. By the time you're 28, you may not have it anymore. By the time you're 30, you probably don't. Whereas like first round pass rushers have second lives on different teams. And you see teams like Tampa get guys like Jason Pierre-Paul with his 8 fingers, or Ndamukong Suh, who was also a first round pick, and you can put Shaq Barrett, you can put it together and you can manufacture pressure. You can get good. I mean, look at Arizona. They didn't draft Chandler Jones. They didn't draft JJ Watt. You can do it, but it's hard to put together a veteran secondary. Either it's really expensive and kind of old, or really cheap and kind of old, and it's not what you want. So you need to draft it high every year.
Yeah. Well, and look at the positions that the 49ers do value. I don't think they're that far off from having really great team building principles, which is you value quarterback, offensive line, and edge. The problem is they value the interior of the defensive line so much they're willing to invest so much more when they don't even really need to. Like they should be taking 5th round interior defensive linemen or 4th rounders and not even taking day 1 or day 2 guys, but they go and take the Javon Kinlaws of the world just to get that next defensive lineman. Like it's kind of this out of whack philosophy where, like you're saying, the rest of the league values coverage so much more. I mean, if you look at the 4 teams, right, who finished the 4 final teams in the playoffs last year, the Chiefs, the Bills, Green Bay and Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
I think when
I have really good secondaries.
They all have really good secondaries, and guess what? Over half of those guys in those secondaries of the 8 starting corners, half of them are 2nd round picks or higher.
Yeah. All you got to know. Ben, great call, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Good luck today with Florida State. I have no idea who they're playing. Clemson?
We're going to No, we're playing Syracuse, but we're probably going to lose. It's
well, you can go root for UCLA vicariously through me if you want.
Hey, I'll go give Chip Kelly some good.
Go Chip! Yeah,
Go Chip.
Always believed in him, man.
One of my favorite chips.
Yeah.